Welcome to Sardinia, welcome to Ducati's DesertX. I have been so looking forward to riding this bike. When I first saw the pictures, 90s retro Dakar, that looks awesome. Originally when the bike was launched, or they showed the prototype, it was air-cooled, but now it's water-cooled, which is around 110 horsepower. Basically taken the engine from the Multistrada, changed the gearing, and put it in a unique, bespoke chassis that's been designed to work off-road and on-road. So that means big travel, multiple adjustable suspension, loads of ground clearance, and the all-important 21-inch front wheel. We've had the opportunity to ride this bike here in Sardinia on a mix of trails, fast road, bit of freeway, bit of motorway, because you've got cruise control here, and try the multiple rider modes. So just to go through those, we have got sport, touring, urban, wet, enduro and rally. So obviously we've got two off-road modes. I've been mainly riding in touring and in sport mode. When you select the mode, it changes the wheelie control, the traction control, the ABS, the engine brake control, which sounds very confusing, but it's pretty simple. You press one button, it goes into touring mode. You basically have softer power and more rider aids. When you flick into sport mode, the opposite. And if you want, like me, you can turn off the traction, you can turn off the wheelie control, and you can have some fun. But if you prefer your fun in the dirt, there are two off-road modes, which is enduro and rally. And basically, enduro is for riders like myself. So you have ABS on the front, ABS on the back, and a bit of traction. But this has been designed to work off-road. This is not like road ABS and road traction. This is purposely designed to work on these tyres off-road. So you're allowed to slide. The back will lock up slightly. And then if you want to go a little bit further, you can go into rally. And again, when you flick into rally, you notice the boost, like a kick in power. There's feels like there's more torque, and the rear can slide more, and there's no ABS on the rear. And then when you've enjoyed this lovely Italian sunshine a bit too much and you're tired, you can flick back to enduro. Off-road, hugely impressive. The rider aids just make the calculations of what you're doing far, far easier, which means you can focus on where you're riding, the route you're going to take, avoiding ruts or attempting little hops and attempting little jumps, because the rider aids are there to help you. They don't hinder the fun, they're there to make you choose the route you want and give you more fun. And equally on the road, several times I was riding in sports mode, but when I was going from dirt to road, I wanted more rider aids because the tyres are dirty, so I was in touring. So I was in touring for a few miles. Once the dirt's cleaned off the tyres, flick into sport, have some fun, turn off the traction and do things maybe you shouldn't do. What a bike. In the UK, this is just going to be over £14,000. I think it's going to do hugely popular bike. 21 litre tank, big tank range. You can get the booster tanks on the back, which add 8 litres. Ducati say 400 kilometres with the tank full, add another 200 kilometres when you add the 8 litres on the back. The back tanks just basically feed the front tank. It's that simple. There's a huge amount of accessories and luggage, even different screens. Soft panniers are going to be available. They've got hard panniers at the moment, and they're currently developing an app where you'll be able to have navigation and get your music and Bluetooth connectivity. The clocks are kind of like, instead of being portrait, a landscape, or is it landscape portrait? It's kind of like almost like a Dakar kind of style road map clocks, and I really like them. If you're used to Ducati, you'll be used to the switchgear. Really, really impressive bike. On road, it doesn't feel like a tall 21-inch kind of tiptoeing big adventure bike like some bikes do. It feels a lot lighter than the quoted weight, and it steers like a bike with maybe a 19-inch front wheel, and these Pirellis really grip. On the road, I was a bit concerned, but then after a couple of corners, I'm like nearly pegs on the floor, big lean, enjoying it, felt really safe, felt really composed. Off-road, it's done everything I've wanted to do with this bike. The seat height is going to be a little bit tall for some, but Ducati offer a lower seat, and they also offer a lower kit, which they're currently designing at the moment. The big problem Ducati are going to have is the competition, because the competition is strong. Let's make no qualms about it. Let's not ignore the competition. We've got bikes like the Norden 901 that I rode recently that I really, really love. Hugely capable off-road, on-road. KTM have got 2 models, the 890 and the 890R. You've got the Africa Twin in there, which is dead easy to ride off-road with the DCT. You've got the BMW in there because at £14,000 it falls into that price category. And you can even put the Tenere, Aprilia have got bikes. This is like a massively congested market. I think the Ducati for me stands out in terms of looks, appeal, and appearance, rider aids, and it doesn't feel like a bike on stilts, like a 21-inch front-wheeled off-road bike trying to do something on the road. It feels like a road bike when you're on the road, and it feels like an off-road bike when you're off-road. It's going to be really interesting. We need to get all these bikes together and have some really good fun and spend a few days testing these bikes. But as part of an individual test, what is this bike like on its own here in Sardinia? Hugely impressed. I was really, really hoping it was going to go as well as it looks, and it definitely does. It's got enough power, it's got enough performance, it's got sublime rider aids, lovely, lovely fueling, and it feels like a road bike on the road, and it feels like an off-road bike off-road. It does 2 jobs in one. Love it.